And somebody I knew said to me, or somebody who knew my father said, with your son's college degree and background, he could really go far in the customs department. And what happened was, I didn't even get to my third interview. They froze the positions. I was getting married. I took a job. I became a teacher. I majored in English education, and I became a teacher. Enough said. I taught for 34 years. But, because of the government, I was frozen out of a position. All right. And I do know that if I had taken that government job and if I had been in Oshkosh, Wisconsin, and I'm only throwing that out as a name, standard of living there the cost of living was much less than it was in New York or Washington or California. Okay. So my government salary, which would have been the same no matter where I worked, would have gone much further. Okay.
Also what he's saying is and it all balances out again, and actually, as the wages go up, everything, all the costs go up with it, and again,
well, and there again, I have to agree with you because I remember back in the 50s as a little kid. Okay, my dad never earned a lot of money, and I can only remember I was a big fan of the Honeymooners, and I remember Ralph working for the bus company, and his salary was $62.50 a week. Okay, and Alice, started. They were having one of their arguments, and she happened to say what his salary was, and he said that now the whole world knows what my salary is. $62.50 a week. Families lived on $62.50 a week. But you could buy a brand new car for $1,500 back in the 50s.
First thing, I think minimum wage should not be national, should be statewide. State is, and what the standards.
Well, let's face it. You live in New York; it's very expensive. $15 an hour for a minimum wage is not that much. I don't think it's that much to ask for. They say that businesses, would have to cut back because they can't afford it. They would cut people's hours. Well, I almost hate to say this, but a lot of businesses that have more than 50 employees or whatever that had to file for Obamacare, if they had a certain number of employees or less, they didn't have to register. So what they did was they cut people's hours. So they were excuse me, Felix. What a lot of businesses did was if you were working 40 hours, they cut you down to 32 and a half or 32. And they didn't have to, they took away sick pay. They took away a lot of things, But you see, if you're running a company, you can do that. If you're the poor schlep who's just an ordinary employee, you're the one that gets hurt in the long run.
That's what I was saying, by the way, Biker. I agree with you. It has to be per state, not a federal mandate. And the honeymooners are probably, if you're 35 years old, you've never heard of the honeymooners.
Oh, is that how old he is?
Yeah, that was Jackie Gleason.
35. My goodness, you are... you fall right in there. You could be my son. I have a 40-year-old, a 38-year-old, a 32-year-old, and soon to be 30-year-old. So you could be my son. Okay?
I'm sorry. You said you seen that here like crazy. I'm not sure what you're referring to.
What?
He said seen that here like crazy.
I don't understand.
And
that.
I'm not sure what he's referring to. Maybe something that we said.
Maybe the honeymooners. He wouldn't know from the honeymooners unless he watches old TV.
Jackie Gleason. I make more under the table than I ever could at a 9 to 5.
And the only thing I have to say about that is good luck to you. because it's a good thing that you're able to do that. Because let's face it, the only well, then he has to. If he's 35, I understand also where he's coming from. Right now, I collect Social Security. I joke with my younger daughter. My two oldest children are girls. My two younger children are boys. And right now, my daughter lives in Ohio, but I don't know how much longer that's going to be. And I would joke with her and say, if there ever comes a time when I move in with you, I said, I'll cook for you. I'll do some shopping. The only thing I want is a car, a bedroom, and a TV. I said, and I come with a pension and Social Security, which unfortunately are two things that she probably will never see in her lifetime. And unfortunately, Biker, I say that to you too, that unless you have a certain kind of job, you may never get Social Security the way things are going, and you may never get a pension unless you take out an IRA or some sort of retirement plan. And that's why so many people are working well into their 60s and into their early 70s because they can't afford to retire because they spent all their money on the last recession.
Yeah, he's saying I've seen a lot of hours, but feel like crazy. What kind of work do you do? Bike? So basically, this world, the United States, has lost too many of the middle class. And
that goes without saying. I mean, all of the manufacturing jobs that went to the blue-collar workers, most of them are all gone. The only ones that are left, really, are in Detroit making cars, and a lot of them are assembly line, and machines are doing a lot of those.
Yeah, they're being replaced. Okay, you're a handyman. Okay, so that means, like you said, so you could probably do better on making stuff under the table.
I have always said that if you have a skill with your hands and you can work that way, we have something called a penny saver. I'm sure you have it in Wyoming as well. People are always asking for someone to do work. Okay, most of that is cash and carry. Okay, and believe me, I understand exactly what you're talking about. You're
lucky you have
a skill.
A skill, and you have I say it's a talent, because,
the one place this country went wrong is when they said that everybody should go to college. Okay, bottom line is, it's okay to go to college. Number one, if you really want to, and if you know you can get a job. But like I said, if you have a skill and a talent, nothing wrong with being a plumber, an electrician. Okay, working in construction. It's something I wish I could do, but I can't.
Okay, saying his wife works 9 to 5 as a manager and gets less than 35 hours a week.
And I have a daughter who almost has a PhD in speech. Okay, she's a speech pathologist, and between her two jobs, she doesn't even make 30 hours a week. So I have to tell you, this is the problem that we are facing. All that schooling, and she is not even paid what she's really worth.
A lot has to do with Obamacare, believe it or not. People are cutting down the hours, not so they don't have to get the insurance. I mean, that's a proven fact. You don't like to admit it, but...
No, but most of these jobs now are all what they call contract jobs. They're PRN jobs. So you don't have any benefits. You get paid when you work.
Exactly. They're trying to get rid of...
Well, that has nothing to do with Obamacare. They just don't hire people the way they used to. All the governors...
A lot of jobs, all those, like the Home Depot and everything, got rid of all the full-time employees. made them all part-time so they don't have to pay the benefits.
But they were never unionized. They didn't have a union
It
to
doesn't
stand
matter.
on.
But union with 40 hours, they were giving them benefits. Under 40, they don't have to. It's nothing to do with the union.
Well,
That's Obamacare tells you that.
Anyway, it's almost time to sign off. So, Biker, I want to thank you very much. We are on Mondays and Fridays from 9 to 11. Friday is usually pretty much of a or quasi-religious show. Okay, but we'd love to hear you share your opinions. Usually we have a gentleman named Chad who comes on Friday. He is our religious expert. Okay. But for now, we have to sign off. So thank you very much for joining us in the chat room. And we look forward to seeing you in the future.
Let me just real quickly read what he just said. I went to a trade school and I have a degree in 2 years community college, and I had to stop. I can't afford to go to school, pay the mortgage, and put food on the table.
That's certainly understandable.
Yeah.
And that's why, if you heard Bernie and if you heard Hillary, what they want to do is make, public community colleges totally free. Now, granted, your taxes will probably wind up going up. You'll pay for it in one way or another, but it won't cost you as much. And there's nothing wrong with going to a trade school. Okay, for those people that feel that they're not college material or they're not sure what they want to be, go to a community college for the first 2 years. It's the same course of study that you have in any 4-year school. And then you decide if you want to go on for a 4-year degree, or if you know that you don't want to get a 4-year degree. Most of the community colleges have, skills where you could learn to be an electrician, or you could learn to be a plumber or in construction. All right. There are a lot of things that you could learn and then go out on your own.
Okay, let's get the last thing he's typing, then we're going to be cut off anyway. So let's see what Biker has to say. Wasting my time and money with both. Sometimes that happens.
It's very possible, because probably what he learned in trade school he already knew. And, going to college for 2 years, you're taking a lot of academic courses, which probably will not help him in being a handyman or in construction.
Anyway, listen, Biker, it was really enjoyable having you chat with us in the chat room. Sorry we got to you so late.
We do apologize for missing you earlier.
Yeah.
But at least you stuck with us.
Appreciate that. And anytime you want to call in or you want to just chat, you're more than welcome to. We appreciate hearing from you. Thanks a lot, and have a good night.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. This is Dr. Mark.
And Felix, and this is where we say arrivederci.
Sayonara.
90 seconds.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you and good night. And we got one more thing coming from Biker. Let's see what we got, because we only have 30 seconds left. And Biker says, no problem. All right, you have a good night. From idiots to friends. How's that? Have a good night.